I'm ready. Thumb on the camera. Let's go. Hi YouTube, welcome to Dress Code. It's your girl V Gucci. Today is going to be a hair tutorial video, okay? I'm going to go grab my co-host and we're going to welcome my co-host to the stage. Give me 1 second, honey. Susie! Welcome Susie, everybody, to the audience. This is Susie. I have had Susie for 5 years, okay? So that's why Susie looks like this. She's been through several dye jobs, several different hair and different clients' hair. So yeah, she's still hanging in there. But now that you have met Susie, now I'm going to introduce you to the dome cap that I'm using. I'm just using the regular dome cap. And I'm going to bring it up close so y'all can see. It's the one with none of the extras, you know. I'm also going to be using a wall nail to pin my hair down. The reason I'm using a wall nail is because the regular like duck clips I do not have, and for some reason I can't find, and I improvise. Hello, look at this vacuum cleaner that I'm using as my stand, which I think y'all should use instead of having to go on Amazon and buy those wig things. Use what you have in your house. Why not? And I'm basically just pinning down the 4 corners of my closure. And that's pretty much it. I turn the wig aside and then I start sewing across the left end of the hair. So I begin sewing from the very tip. I want y'all to notice that I left off maybe a 1/2 inch of the hair hanging off on the front end. And then I'm basically sewing. I'm fast forwarding through how I sew the closure, but I'm basically sewing the closure on across the perimeter of it, but leaving the very tip of the closure out past the cap, just like 1/2 inch of it just past half the cap. I feel like that gives it a more natural look in the very end, right? Once I'm done sewing it, I cut off all the extra lace around it and basically just tie a knot in where I ended my sewing. I stick on some lashes. This is ratchet again, improvising. I stick on some lashes to give my client a lot more room in her wig so she's able to move and not feel sucked in by her wig. And then I'm basically beginning sewing on my longest track, which is the 18-inch. I'm sewing that about 1/2 inch above the bottom of my dome cap. And I'm basically sewing it just across the bottom edge from the left end to the right end. And then I'm basically doing the flip over method. And I'm going to continue this throughout the entire wig. Now, if y'all notice, every time I make a stitch in this wig, I knot it. So with each time I'm basically going in with the thread, I'm basically knotting it and bringing it around. I feel like this has caused my wigs to last me forever, literally. So I have wigs that are 6, 7 years old that I can still pull out till this day and rock. So this, I feel like is one of the biggest secret of it all is that I'm always knotting my wigs. So I never have to go back in to restitch a track at all. So knot it while you move on. So as y'all watch the rest of the video, I'm going to basically play you some tunes. You understand? Okay, I'm going to put you on a brief intermission and I will be back when we get closer to the top of the wig. Okay?
This one I do with the jabata. Me, I no get time, I did da. Dada cover my face, calling me la ba jow. Biggie man, we know they wear a ba da. Tell me, my nigga, what's it gon' G-Wagon, all depend. Take your time, ride the whip. I no fit, die for nothing. My nigga, what's it gon' be? G-Wagon, all depend. They got it, ride the whip. I no fit. die for nothing. Make you no say anything when you do, them must commend it. I can't come and keep myself. So anything when you do, I they try to do on my way. I can't come and keep myself. Plenty so far we face. Just to make sure money day. But my people then go say I know one buy, I know one die, I know one payment. I want enjoy, I want chop life, I want buy motor, I want build house, I still want to know. Tell me, Manika, what's it come? G-Wagon, all the Bentley, the girl them, ride the whip, I no fit, die for nothing. My nigga, what's it gonna be? G-Wagon, all the Bentley, the girl them, ride the with me, I no fit. Different things them happening, schemes and packaging. In a one night for shows I'm juggling. Flow like the ocean, my boat I'm paddling. Shara Shinapella, that's my bro, my family. Frozen trace. When it comes to money, I they concentrate. Make I tell you straight, you are not my mate. If you become a I be head of state. But my people then go say I know one buy, I know one die, I know one payment, I want.
I'm back. So right along the last track that I'm on, I'm basically sewing on that last track right on top of the closure. Literally right on top of the edges of that closure, I'm sewing it. I do not want there to be any type of separation from where the track is to where the closure is. And I basically stitch that together, knot it each time I stitch it, and then basically do my final knot just to hold the whole thing together, right? As soon as I'm done with that, ladies and gentlemen, this part of the video was cut out and I do apologize, but there is an area where you can literally stick your hands, like 4 fingers right into. It's the area where we stitched the closure around. All I basically did was just cut the extra stocking area or cap area out of that area. And that's it. So now I'm basically going along the center parting of my closure, which is the center part wig, and I'm basically parting it down with a pen and parting it to where I pull out about 5 pieces of hair each time, and I basically just pull it from that middle area. That's all I'm doing, is I'm going right along the little parting and just pulling out hair. Right? As soon as I'm done with the pen and I feel like I've gotten off like about as much hair as I want to get off, because I'm still keeping it very natural, I go in with my tweezer and I basically start tweezing just the front area the same way that we ladies like to do our closure. This is, hey, big secrets here, okay? I'm dropping a lot of big secrets. I'm basically plucking out the front like I would a closure. This is one of the biggest reasons to how I get my closures to look so natural. I get this question all the time. People always ask me if I'm wearing a frontal versus a closure. Me personally, I honestly prefer closures versus frontals. Frontals look great, but who has time for that? I mean, I say this now and tomorrow I might pull out a frontal wig, but seriously though, who has time for that? So I'm basically doing what I would do to a frontal wig by basically plucking out baby hair and sharing out this front area. I continue this method until I feel satisfied, And I'm basically now going to continue the satisfaction, and then I'm going to begin to cut my hair. You see, the problem with this hair company is, even though this is 2 18-inch closure, the ends of it still looks really straggly and like really gross. That's like my pet peeve. So y'all, I just chopped them ends right off. I'm so sorry again that this process is literally not showing the full thing, but I'm basically cutting about like maybe 1.5 inch off the bottom of the hair, just because in that very, very end, it literally, I can count out like maybe 15 or 10 piece of curl like dangling, and that's just not cute. You don't want your hair to look stringy, especially if you have curly hair. It's supposed to be full from like root to tip. Granted, this is two bundles in this hair, but basically I am cutting it and washing it, and this is what it looks like now, y'all. Like I said, this is a 16-inch closure and 2 18-inch bundles. I'm also going to use my blade comb to basically add some long layers in the front to give the front a little bit more volume with the curls. And that's pretty much it when it comes to like layering and cutting this hair. I'm keeping it pretty minimal and just very, very natural and pretty. Now again, just like a frontal, I am going to be covering the baby hairs, but I shall not be rocking the baby hair with this. It is just so, if the wind blow, they will see small, short little hair that look like my own. My powder, I'm going to just go along the edges of this wig. Along the parting of the wig. And I'm basically just patting. Right on like so. I also like to move it through the beginning of the hairline. I feel like that makes it a little bit more thinner in that area, makes it look more realistic. So these are the products that I use to create, but these are the products that I use to basically wet this hair and to get the curls to be defined like this. I use this Aussie 3-in-1 conditioner. I also used this Whole Blends leave-in conditioner. Y'all, this smells so delicious, literally delicious. And lastly, my hair crack, I used the Moroccan organ oil for just to give me some shine. I use a dime size, the same old things YouTubers have been doing for years, honey. But this is how I slayed this wig. I want to know y'all's thoughts on it. This is actually a client's wig, but I want to know what y'all think about this.
I want buy motor, I want build house, I still want to know. Tell me, my nigga, what's it gon' be? G-Wagon, all depend. The girl them, ride the whip. I know feet, die for nothing. My nigga, what's it gon' be? G-Wagon, all depend. The girl them, ride the whip. I know feet, die for nothing. Oh no, I now.
You tell me go far away. You say you know be number one, number two, ni le ayami. On the low, she be feeling the boy. Ooh la. On the low, she be texting the boy. Ooh la. On it all around me, the change only shall lie. You see your body, now you dey shock me like for me.